All right. So my first chosen article for today's presentation is finding the platform in your product. So this is hold on. Okay. So let me begin with multi-sided platforms or MSPs. So multi-sided platforms or MSPs facilitate interactions between parties. And it is known that 5 out of the 10 most valuable companies in the world today get much of their worth from their multi sided platforms. So these are Alphabet, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. And in many MSPs, are more valuable than companies in the same industries that only provide products or services. So, an example of this is Airbnb. Airbnb is an MSP for the travel industry, right? And it is known that now Airbnb is more valuable than the Marriott chain, which is the largest hotel chain in the world. And they don't even have their own property. They're just an MSP. So now, um, as I said, um, MSPs are multi-sided platforms that they facilitate the interactions between different parties. So that's businesses, that's customers, and it is said that um, companies should either be an MSP or either a part of should become an MSP or even a part of an MSP. And so the question is, why would a company that offers products or services turn themselves into an MSP? So first, of course, it enhances the company's competitive advantage, and it raises the barriers to entry via network effects and higher switching cost. So basically, in becoming MSPs, a company can provide new revenue sources while also preventing competitors from stealing their market share from its products or services. Now, the challenge is for companies that weren't born as platform businesses. Like like what I said, Marriott, they're not uh they're not created to be multi-sided platforms. Now the challenge is, how do they do that? And so this presentation addresses that challenge by providing a framework so that the companies are offering products and services can turn their businesses into an MSP. So there are 4 specific ways in which products and services can be transformed into platforms. So this presentation will examine each of these ways, and we examine the strategic advantages, and the pitfalls or the challenges that the companies may encounter by trying on this path, and also how to address them. So the first is, so I made this small, this wasn't in the paper, but it's how I understand it, and I think I would be able to better explain with these figures. So originally, oh sorry. So originally, in this first scenario, it suggested that a company may open its doors to third parties. So what does it mean? So initially, if a company is offering products or services, they offer it directly to customers. So to become an MSPs, like this one in the red box, the product and service can go through a third party to be able to connect to its customers while also still selling the products and services to the customer. So the third party may be independent of your product or service, or maybe apps or modules that works in combination with your offering. So it's only like a complement. It doesn't replace what you're offering or your products or your service. So I will provide an example for this. So Intuit. Intuit is a leading seller of financial management, account and tax software products for consumers and small businesses in the United States. I don't think we have an equivalent of this locally. So I'll just stick to the example in the paper. So in the past 6 years, Intuit has changed how they offered their product, their flagship financial accounting product, QuickBooks. So they started offering it through an API and an app store. So how did they do that? They opened up application programming interfaces and introduced a developer program that allows and app store that allows third-party developers to build and sell software products to QuickBooks customers base. So I remember when I was using AWS, Amazon Web Services, they also have this thing called AWS Marketplace. So basically, what it does, it um you can set up your own developers or other company or even just individuals can set up their own customized product, and they can sell it like a template, so they can sell it to the marketplace, and then they can earn directly from it. At the same time, it also attracts customers to AWS as well. So that's how they work as an API, similar to what QuickBooks is doing. In their case, it's of course a financial product, financial accounting product. So another example, this one is more simpler. Forum Athletic Club. So it is a gym, basically a gym that they allowed Fitness, which is a cycling studio chain in the United States, to operate inside their gyms. So instead of just offering the regular gym services, they allowed a third party to come in and conduct their services into their facilities, which on their end can attract more customers, and they can also earn revenue from what Psych Fitness earns because they are operating inside their facilities. And then lastly, Lawson, this refers to the convenience stores in Japan. So they turn their shops into MSPs that facilitates transactions between customers and third-party service providers. So this is quite similar to what we have now with 7-Eleven. So we know that these days we can pay our bills, buy prepaid load, and they also offer GCash services and even have their own click. And there are many convenience stores that offers this, right? And even you can even drop off your Lazada packages there or pick up. I think I haven't done it, but I think that's one of the services they provided now. So that's how these businesses can turn their so these are just examples of how can they turn their business into MSPs, into third parties. Now, the pitfalls. So, first, the customers may object to the advertising of third-party offerings. So, like in the gym that offers cycling classes, maybe the regular customers of the gym may not want to share their facilities with the members of the cycling classes because they want their gym to be, exclusive to them, and that could happen to other um, businesses as well. And to address it, it is recommended to allow only offerings that align well with the needs and desires of the customers, and obtain explicit consent to participate in tests for targeted third party offerings. And the next is responsibility for the quality of customer interaction with the third parties. So, like, again, going back to the gym example, so if the customers of the cycling fitness classes didn't like the class, they could blame the gym because it is technically endorsing it. It is in their facility, so they're offering the service as well. Even though it's a third party, the gym does not have anything to do with it. It could affect their business overall. So the recommendation here is to create third-party products and services much more carefully before applying them to your company. And lastly, third-party products and service may cannibalize your offerings. So instead of so naturally we want to allow only products and services that are complementary and not related to your business. So for example, in the 7-Eleven business, they are not gonna allow like Jollibee to sell their products into their stores, right? Because they have their own chicken, or am I thinking of mini stop? Basically that's the idea. So they're only allowing like bills payments, Lazada drop off pickups, because it's only complementary to their business, and it's not exactly a competition. So the recommendation is to co-opt competitive offerings to capture resulting value to customers. So in that case of 7-Eleven, it is very convenient for their customers to do everything in one place, like sell, buy what they need, and then pay their bills at the same time. So that's it for the first one. For the next, we have connecting customers. So in this scenario, the company is selling product or service to two distinct customers. So in this visual, we have products or service that are they are providing for customer one and customer two. And customer one and customer two is is having a transaction among themselves. Now to become an MSP, in the red box here, we want to capture that transaction as well. So aside from offering the product of service to customer 1 and customer 2, we want to be able to singit tayo, pasok tayo, or include tayo dun sa transaction that they are doing, so that we can capture the value there as well. So as an example, we go back to QuickBooks. So they have a matchmaking function that allows customer segments to find an accountant. So customer one is the small businesses. Customer two for them is the accountants. So naturally, customers would want to be the small businesses would want to be connected to the accountants. Um, so what QuickBooks did was that they were they offered the service to match these two customers together, and they captured the value from that. So they allow, after they have paired, it's like they QuickBooks is recommending accountants that are available within the geographic area, right? So after they have matched them, or they have accepted the matching or the pairing, they allow the customers to exchange their documents to their products or to their applications, so that they can also capture the value there as well. And then another example is Garmin. So Garmin, um, their customers is one, the users or the fitness enthusiasts, the customers who are using the what do you call this? Is this the watch? And then another customer of them is the fitness gym instructors. So they capture the value there by providing an application where they could capture the data of the customers one, the users, and the fitness trainers, which is their customer two. So they can exchange data through their mobile app, and they also have a pro subscription for the trainers, so that they can access their clients' data. And then another example is Blizzard Entertainment. Now, in this example, the They have an action house. This allows the players to buy and sell digital items within the game. So the pitfalls. Okay, so the pitfalls is one, your risk of wasting resources with little or additional value to the customers or the company. Of course, sometimes it would, for example, if QuickBooks created that application that could connect accountants to their custom or to the small businesses, and it would take an effort, right, to build that application. But what if it doesn't sell, or they didn't really want the application, or it ended up not being used? So they could be wasting all those resources trying to build that application without it helping the company. So the recommendation here is, of course, to conduct market research and run experiments before implementing it. And another one is customer may perceive MSP feature as misaligned with the company's value. So the recommendation is to put governance mechanisms in place to minimize unsatisfactory interactions. And the third one is connecting products to connect customers. Okay, so this one naman. So a company is selling two different products and services, each with different customer base, and the two customers interact outside the company's offerings. So in this visualization on the left, we see products or service 1. This is product or service 2. So product and service 1 is for customer 1. Product or service 2 is for customer 2. Now somehow, customer 1 and customer 2 is also having a transaction. Now, to become an MSP, we want to be able to capture the transaction between customer 1 and customer 2. So we get into it, and we provide the products or services that both customer needs. So an example of this is Cards Against the Humanity, which is apparently a popular game where the players complete fill-in-the-blank statements with words or phrases printed on physical playing cards. So the company's first business, or their first product, is selling the game and giving expansion packs to their consumers, to their customers. And another product of them is through Black Box. It's a separate website selling back-end fulfillment services to independent artists who want to sell their products, including third-party developers of other card games. So currently, it's a separate offering. So by becoming an MSP, Cards Against Humanity can um, allow black box customers to advertise their games to the Cards Against the Humanity users. So they can allow them to test the games, the game concepts, and customers will provide feedback to them, so they can get the value in that sense. And another example is credit bureaus. So it can be Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So um, consumers, I don't think it has actually been used, but I think it's only in theory that they think that they can, I mean, the authors can, how these businesses can turn into MSPs. So the idea is the consumers can obtain credit scores and receive offers from these financial institutions. And then the consumers, the same clients, can create and manage their digital profile to apply for financial products, let's say loans or credit cards, because they this way they would already have a proof of their credit standing. They don't have to go, they can go directly to the financial institutions. The financial institutions don't have to interact themselves, I guess. So another example is Nielsen. So they offer watch products to media companies. So they provide, I think this is Nielsen. I forgot what's called locally. Anyway, they provide the data they capture the data on consumers' viewing habits and the sorry offer and buy products to consumer goods manufacturers. So in this way, they provide the data on consumers' purchasing habits. So Nielsen can become an MSP by adding the ability for a consumer packaged goods company to connect with relevant media companies for advertising customers. So the pitfalls of this is again risk of wasting resources with little or additional value to customers or company. In the same way, we address this by research and testings. And another pitfall is limit the growth potential of one or the other product on its own. Sorry, that's a typo. On its own. Of course, we can if one product is doing very well and the company doesn't have enough resources to grow the other product, it could also result in um, another risk of wasting resources. So the recommendation is the same for both: conduct market research and run experiments. Since this is only a framework, of course, most of the market research and experiment should be done by the company themselves. So lastly, supplying to a multi-sided platform. So in this scenario, a company can become an MSP by creating an offering for your customer's customer. So in the left figure, we have here the product or service, and then they're offering it to the customer. Now the customer is also providing another product or service to its customer. Now, the suggestion is to become an MSP that the product or the business offering product or service also capture the business of the customer's customers. Now, this last example is logically possible, but according to the paper, they are not aware of examples of its successful implementation. So, what we have here is an example of what could be a way for Shopify, in this example, to become an MSP. So, Shopify is an e-commerce tool to online and retail merchants. Currently, they have no direct connection with its customers' users. So, they only have the website, and then the customers are their customers, the ones who create the website. Doesn't no the cost their customer Shopify's customers are the ones who create the website, and then their customers have other customers who buy on the website that they created on the Shopify site. Now Shopify doesn't have a connection to the customers of the customer of their customer that created the website. Now what they're suggesting so that Shopify become an MSP is, for example, they can provide a common login or a loyalty program to users of its customer sites. It can be successful if it can persuade the merchant's customer that the offering was a value added service rather than attempt to take control of their customer relationship. Of course, if you're the creator of the website, you will think that you will be suspicious why the Shopify want to connect to my customers. Maybe they want to steal them or make a business of their own, right? So that is actually the pitfall of this suggestion, because customers may react negatively because they might think that you're going after their customers. And to address this, we have to convince the customers that this is only a complimentary service to generate additional value for the company and for the website, and they're not actually trying to steal their market. Okay, so that's the last one. So in conclusion, so the challenge is transitioning from where you have 100% control over what you offer the customers versus one where you can only influence the value that is created for them. So for example, in 7-Eleven, right, or in Lawson, they, with what they have right now, they can control it 100%. But if they open up their stores to third parties, they're giving up that some of that control and could possibly risk the current business that they have. So another consideration is the organizational and leadership challenges, where the employees themselves, for example, the employees of 7-Eleven, might find it difficult to transition to having additional services to offer or products to their customers. And even R&D operations or even boards and CEOs may find it difficult to transition or deal with multiple hybrid strategies. Now, while creating the platform will have its own challenges, it should be worth it if it will provide opportunities for growth and increase profitability for the business. And all these efforts will make it the transformation worthwhile. That's it.